Being born and raised in Dubai has been such a good thing for me, to be honest. And I have learned a lot in this journey. So, welcome to our podcast from the heart of Dubai. You can see we have Burj Khalifa in our background, and we're diving deep into the wealth strategies, the ideas that we created, what made us successful, and what brings us here today. It's been a long way, and we're going to be discussing topics about entrepreneurship where nobody talks about them or dives deep about them.
My name is Yasin Hussein. I'm here to interview Ibrahim about his roadmap. So you said you were born here, but what's your original nationality?
I'm originally Palestinian.
So you're Palestinian and you were born here? Your
Yeah.
family came here?
My family got married and then they came here,
Mhm.
and journey started ever
You
since.
started. How? When did you actually start? Working, and at what age? Because you're still 19 years old. People don't know that. But at 19, when did you actually start? How much it took you?
Well, you can say I really started when I was 14, which is 5 years ago, going into the sixth year by next year, inshallah. And I started at 14, and I'm not gonna say I started drop shipping at 14. No, that I'm not gonna make off that story. But I started actually like selling on Instagram pages and selling in school. I was seventh grade at the time.
So reselling.
Yeah, you could say I
Yeah.
started reselling first. I was buying shoes and then selling them to people on school.
Mhm.
Even on Instagram, my first ever business was selling fake shoes, basically.
Yeah.
And from there, basically the journey started. But it wasn't that I wanted to become an entrepreneur. I wanted to become something. It was just, for the sake of it. I just wanted
Yeah.
to do
For
something,
fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So one thing led to another. I started selling lights, started selling random stuff all over Instagram.
Yeah.
After that, got to know about Shopify about a year and a half in.
Before
of
we
me
move on
selling.
to
Yeah.
Shopify, how does it feel like selling in school? Because a lot of people, they go to school, they study, and they go back home, but they don't know actually they can make money off their of colleagues in school.
Right,
So
right.
how do you describe that?
Well, in school, it was a unique experience because I was like the middleman between the markets and between anything else, like the students in our school. And I wasn't just, selling shoes. I was selling, anyone, whatever anyone wanted. I don't know if you heard about the trash packs. It was like a toy. It's like a rubber toy. It's like you play with them and stuff. You guys should probably know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, you put the
Yeah.
picture of it.
Yeah, it was trending basically at the time too. I was selling that. There was multiple things I sold, and it was such a unique thing because I was the only one making money.
Yeah.
And it wasn't the concept of me making money, but to think about it now, I was the only one making money back then.
Yeah.
Everyone was a consumer for me, I was the only one making it real.
Only supplier.
So yeah, it was great, to be honest, and always had new people referring me. Basically, I had like a lead system. Anyone wanted the shoes, no one had it.
This is at
I was the
14 years
supplier.
old.
Yeah, at 14, 15,
Yeah.
between those 2
Yeah,
years, it was the start basically where things took off.
Which system did you study? Like American system, British system?
I actually started in British
Yeah.
up until grade 9, and I got kicked out of school. I had bad grades. I failed grade 9, and they only gave me one option, which was to basically leave the school, but they will give me good grades, so I would be able to enter another school. They
Why-
just didn't really wanted me to stay. Basically,
Why did they kick you out? You made problems or?
I was kind of a problem guy, and
Yeah.
also once I got kicked out of school for selling in school, because that's
Really? It was
technically
illegal?
legal. It's stupid, but yeah, I got
Yeah.
kicked out for 3 days and got back to school. But then I went into American, and to be honest, that shift, getting into American, was the best thing that happened in my life because first it was easier, second new people, new
More time.
life.
You have more time in your hands.
And then it developed my mind better because I was so used to my old school.
Yeah.
Like it was just a second home, go sit with people and go back home, and that's it.
Yeah, yeah.
So it was kind of a mindset shift for me. Yeah.
But also, when I studied in an American school when I came here, the thing is that the system is very easy. Like the studies are so easy, and I have so much time in my hand that I can invest in something else, which is my work. So I used to study and work at the same time. So it was like a chaos, but still I was doing something at least.
I mean, I feel bad for the ones in British school, the ones that have IGs and stuff. I feel bad for you guys. I know it's a
I
living
don't
hell for
understand
most
that.
people.
But tell them what was your main problem in British school?
In
Like,
British, like,
which subject like you study?
to be honest, I failed in everything. I'm
That's
being
great.
honest. Everything.
Everything.
I was crazy.
Mm,
Like, until today, I'm not very good with my Arabic. Even though I'm
mm,
Arab,
mm.
I'm not good at it at all.
Like you're Arabic, but you don't know how to read Arabic?
I read a bit and I write a bit,
Mhm.
but speaking, I'm 100%. But
Yeah.
with the writing and the reading, no, I'm bad.
Mm.
But English, I'm good. So you basically get the idea of how bad I am. I was in
Yeah.
school, and I used to get straight Fs, not
Mm-mm.
straight A's. I was the opposite, basically.
And do you come from a middle class family, from a rich family, from poor family, or basically a hustler family? You know.
I would say I came off from a middle class family.
Mm.
Not really that we were that middle type of class, but we were living good.
Mm.
But 3 years, 4 years of my journey, that's when also my brothers became hustlers. They also started doing their own thing. Everyone started their own thing. So basically, it shifted into a hustler's family.
But they never did something online, right?
No, no, no.
You're the
I'm the
only
only
one in the
one.
family.
I'm the
Yeah.
only one in this game.
Yeah.
No one tapped into it.
Only who did like
Yeah.
e-commerce and online selling.
I
Yeah.
was crazy. I was different.
Yeah, but I think if they think about opening something online, you would be, the guidance for them.
Yeah, actually, two brands
Hmm.
I have launched for my brother. Basically, a partnership between me and him. And basically, he invested everything, and I just built it. I did the marketing, I did everything, and they
Yeah.
got successful until today.
Alhamdulillah.
2 years in for both of the brands, and they're doing well, to be honest.
That's great. But other than that, so many people, when they talk about their successful life or the successful roadmap, they always say, "Oh, I came from a middle, yeah, lower family, poor family." But actually, that's not the case for everyone. You can
Mhm.
be from a rich family and still, build wealth for yourself.
Yeah,
When
correct.
you have that hustler mindset.
Correct. That's totally
So
correct.
yeah.
See, I would say the only thing that changed my life, like that one thing, is when I was in seventh grade, I used to go out every Thursday.
Mm.
My dad would give me 50 or 100 to go spend it with my friends, like the taxi and all of that
Yeah.
stuff. So that one Thursday, I decided to keep that 100. Like I took it from my dad, but I didn't go out, just so I would be able to buy that shoes and sell it to that guy in school.
Yeah.
That was basically my start point. That's what made the difference in me.
Mm.
And from there, just
How
went
much
on.
you sold the shoe for?
I honestly don't remember, but I think it was like for 130. Bare
Mm.
minimum profit.
Yeah.
I profited like 20 dirhams or
20
something
dirhams.
out of it.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I wasn't for the money.
Mm.
Growing up, it became, I wanted to become an entrepreneur.
Yeah.
That's where it changed, where the mindset came in and I grew up. I understood
You
how life
started
works and
building
stuff. Yeah.
habits and
It
all of
was
that. Yeah.
just, a thing that I like to do, to buy and sell. So
That's
yeah, that's basically it as part of the
mm.
start journey, and it went on for life. And alhamdulillah until today, always trying to expand, always trying to go into new business and grow as much as possible.
You told me about opening on Instagram pages, reselling,
Mhm.
etc. So many people now do the same thing, which is actually kind of saturated in the UAE and GCC market. But what actually stands out is the marketing and the content they do for it. So,
Yeah.
what advice you give for the people who are reselling currently in their pages on Instagram or Facebook or
Yeah.
whatever, TikTok?
So when I started, okay, just so you know,
Mm,
that time there was no reels, no TikTok, no nothing.
yeah,
So the method was just post the products, make the Instagram page look
looks
unique,
nice. Yeah,
and then just follow people or message people, offers, stuff like that. It was the basic method.
mm,
But now with reels, with a lot of competitors and stuff, it's not just about posting products. It's also about creating engagement, having your
yeah,
audience. It's basically like building a brand. It's not
yeah.
just reselling.
Hmm.
So you need to post content, try giving out to influencers, try to keep on posting every single day about the products you sell.
Hmm.
If you make your own content, it's better than stealing ready-made content.
Mm.
It's better because you will build your presence for your own.
And a
When you're
trust
stealing
bond.
content,
Yeah.
okay, when you're stealing content, that works every time. Even if 10 years ahead, it's gonna work, but it's not gonna build the right trust bond,
Yeah.
and it's not gonna last for the future.
Exactly.
It's gonna have an end
Mhm.
time for it.
Yeah.
So standing out is basically having a clean page. That's number one, of course. posting content, engaging with people, and being transparent, and basically
Yeah.
telling them what they're actually getting. That would be the main point of basically what to do in this business.
So many people when they start with small, a small business like reselling, they can resell anything, like you
Right,
said, shoes or clothes or
right,
a lot of stuff. But one game changer, which is Shopify. Shopify is such a game changer for everyone, and how actually easy it is and hard at the same time, complicated to actually run a Shopify. Because it's not hard to build the website, but it's complicated to keep it running good without any
right,
problems. So,
right.
what's your advice for people who wants to start with a Shopify and build their website?
Mhm.
At the same time, telling them it's something possible to do on your own.
Or see, building a Shopify store, not forget Shopify, building a website, no
Mm-hmm.
matter what platform you use to build a website, Shopify is the best in the game. So let's stay on Shopify for now. Building the store, designing it, even if you don't even design it, just a white page that has products, nothing unique about
Yeah,
it, you can still sell. I have even did it myself, like just a blank page with
yeah,
that product that's winning or unique, and it's sold. But the way that it works, what you need to actually master or basically learn more is how to market it to people, who is the audience, and how to stay up with the latest trends.
mm-hmm.
Because the design won't really matter. It
Yeah,
matters a lot, by the way, just so you know, but doesn't really matter when your product is shit. Doesn't
mm,
really matter when you don't know how to reach your people.
yeah,
It's not just, people think, oh, okay, build a website, put an advertisement, leave it running. No,
yeah,
there are certain settings you need to follow when running an advertisement. Certain settings when you're putting a product. Certain
yeah,
settings that you need to follow in the all of the business, because now there's also a lot of websites. It's not just
mm,
you're not the only one in the market. It's hard to sell something without having a competitor now.
exactly. Yeah,
Talking about when I started, that was different. Now it's different. So
yeah. You started at what year?
I started 2019, November
2019.
2019, you
Yeah,
would say. That's where
almost
I
6 years
started
ago.
learning,
Yeah,
not when I actually started. 2020 is where the first Shopify store,
you made, yeah,
and it was going very well for me.
at the pandemic.
Hmm.
But it's crazy how at that time I was thinking about only playing video games in Fortnite. That was my big dream. But actually, how did you get the idea of starting a business at that age, and also at that time where none of this trend of making money and building wealth was there, at the social
Well, I
media.
see. The thing is, at that time, it wasn't really that I want to build a business. Keep that
Mm-hmm.
in mind.
Yeah.
It was just a hobby that I wanted to do. I discovered a new platform that's Shopify. I
Mm-hmm.
said, let me get on it, maybe learn it. So I tried to research and learn it. I couldn't. So, curious kid, learn it yourself. Started like pressing everything inside of Shopify, and I learned what it was about exactly. So I was able to basically build a website, put the products,
Yeah.
and there's a lot of details to it, but one thing led to another basically. And from there, I saw the game changer.
Mm-hmm.
That was also another kick in my life. That was step two of life, where I was like, oh, this is something. And when I told my brothers about it, they're like, focus on it. This is a life changer.
Yeah.
This is something that's going to make your life different,
Mm-hmm.
because no one was mentoring it. No one knew about it. People knew about it, but weren't teaching it or really doing it. So
Yeah.
you could say, let's say we have 1,000 people in the UAE. I was the only one of the five people doing it. It
Mm-hmm.
was actually very rare to find someone doing Shopify.
Mm-hmm.
So I learned about the game and posted multiple products. Didn't understand what's winning product or something like that, because it was just selling online, and it was easy to get trust. It was easy to get customers.
Mm-hmm.
TikTok was booming at the time.
Because people, it's easy to get customers and trust because people at that time, competitors didn't have,
Mhm.
so many websites, and at the same time, people didn't know how to make the website, so they would think it's a hard thing to build.
Yeah,
Yeah,
like, be having a website was so hard.
yeah,
That was the mindset of people, even until now. But for the most part, everyone knows with a click of like 10 buttons, you can have a website
with
up and
AI.
running. Even with AI, and moving with AI, I believe within the next 2 years, we would see Shopify integrating AI to build all of your website. Currently they do have some AI. It's in beta version. They're testing it, but within the two next years, we're gonna have something related to store building with AI for sure.
I'm sure it's gonna be with coding, because some people struggle with coding in AI and Shopify because Shopify not only modifications, there
Yeah,
is some coding, but I'm sure AI gonna be integrated in the coding of
that's right.
Shopify
It's
because
it's gonna be a game
yeah,
changer. It's gonna be a
because you can
crazy.
do the coding with ChatGPT,
Yeah.
and just copy that in Shopify and just do your job.
It's all about understanding what is the code,
hmm
and the AI would do the rest for you. That's it.
Now with AI, do you actually implement it in your businesses now, or you still learning more about it? And what do you think will happen in the future, with AI and integrations, etc.?
Well, do I have it integrated? Yes. What do I think of the future? Long road. There's
Mm-hmm.
crazy things going to happen, but about me integrating it, yes, I recently, beginning of this year, I started getting it into some businesses of mine because it simplifies a lot of things. Not like I'm removing an employee, keep in mind, it's not that good
Mm,
yet, but small tasks, small things, it makes your life easier.
mm,
So it helped a lot that it's basically here. And towards the future, I could potentially say within the next 2 years, there's going to be a lot of improvements for AI.
yeah.
And it will 100% reach a point where it can take over someone's job completely. It's already happening, but I'm talking to a crazy point. Yes,
Mm-mm.
that's going to happen. It's scary because it can affect the normal people. Me as an entrepreneur, I hustle on the road. The other ones that are sitting in an office, the ones that are doing stuff for us, those people are gonna get affected because,
Yeah.
as example, if you're a researcher, you need to. What's your job as a researcher?
Do
You go
research.
to different
Mm, mm,
websites, you go to different people, grab all data, and create your own summary of it. Right
mm.
now, if AI goes full on, AI can do that. Can reach out to these people, can scrape the internet for the new news, and that's it. Your job is gone.
But there is something more crazier which already is getting people out of job, which is customer service, AI customer service, which
That's
is
the
the
customer
automation.
service is
Yeah.
deleted already.
Yeah,
That's the
but
chapter deleted for people.
exactly.
As example, in UAE we don't really have it yet, but in the US there's a lot of businesses that they're using already the chat thing for the
Chat
phones
reply. Yeah.
on the phone, not chat support.
Mm-hmm.
Chat support is something basic. It was old even, but now it's towards the phone. And I've seen two people in Dubai. They're making it as a business. They're basically making AI automation phone calls. They would book schedules, sound like 100% real human. Whatever you ask it, it's gonna answer it for you. Schedule meeting appointments, schedule anything, answer your
Yeah, yeah.
question. It's crazy.
Do you advise businesses in Dubai to actually get into AI to implement it in their businesses?
Of course,
hmm
of course, it helps a lot.
Yeah.
AI, like,
And it
even though
costs less.
it costs less.
Yeah.
That's one. Cost, of course, that's less. Can make small mistakes, but towards the future, it's helping a lot. It's moving forward a lot. It's crazy. It's creating a lot of new opportunities for companies. So interrogating it, yes. Personally, now I do have it on a small scale interrogated, but towards the future, it's gonna be a full scale, inshallah. Like
So,
AI is going crazy, so take full leverage of it.
and for you to actually stand out between competitors in your companies in Dubai, actually to implement AI would take you far long, would take you to the road of a good, actual positive impact on the future, So people will just, your work will be easier, or your systems will be much, much easier
hmm
to do, So every business, every man who has a business in Dubai has to think about it, has to actually try to
Yeah,
implement it
that's
these
that's
few days.
100%
But
true.
if you think about it now, we're filming in 25 December.
hmm
But if you think about it, 2024 has a lot of crazy updates in AI, which is, for example, ChatGPT 4, and now is
ChatGPT, and there's Llama by
mhm,
Meta,
yeah,
and Google has what was it called? Do you know the name for
I
Google?
forgot about it.
I honestly forgot. If you guys know it, just drop it down below.
But
I have no
people they
idea.
say it's more powerful than ChatGPT, right?
It's more powerful, but it doesn't have the leverage of ChatGPT.
Mm-hmm.
ChatGPT is basically taking over the game as of now, but who knows what the future holds?
One thing I like about ChatGPT is you can actually train it.
hmm
People don't know that, but dealing with AI is not. It's easy, of course, but your responses can be way better, and
Mhm.
the outcome from AI can be much
You
better.
program it.
So yeah, so what actually ChatGPT helped you with, in 2024?
Well, to be honest, whenever like the most thing was whenever I'm having unclear thoughts about a business decision or basically wanting to implement a certain thing, I would talk to it and it's not gonna tell me no, gonna argue with me. Gives me straight answers. So other than that, towards the business side, it was helping me with clearing out Excel forms. It was
Mm-hmm.
helping me out create Word documents. It was helping me out creating a lot of certain things inside of my business model. So towards that part, it saved a lot of time off my hand and
Mm-hmm.
basically my team. And they're implementing it more than me. I just use it more personal use.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm actually trying to get my personal assistant from AI
Yeah.
because I do have some friends that have it. And all of them are telling me it's such a big positive,
Yeah.
personal assistant AI.
A lot of people say you have to always build your network and get connections anywhere,
Hmm.
from everyone, especially in this country. But they don't realize that before even reaching to that point to get networks, you have to build a skill so people actually need you, So at the beginning, how did you start, and what business models that got you through the roof, and made you actual, good outcome to basically become rich before creating wealth?
Well, that's a good question. And basically, what made me reach the point of where I am and what really built the connections for me and basically all my wealth was when I learned Shopify. Of course, it's a business model, and I was doing it towards the e-commerce matter.
Mm-hmm.
So that kind of forced me into finding suppliers, finding branding people, finding
Yeah,
anything related to businesses. You get my point?
yeah,
So one thing led to another. I got to know a lot of suppliers. Now I have like a contact list of over 3,000 suppliers only in Dubai.
yeah.
3,000 suppliers within Dubai only. And other than suppliers, it's basically I built connections with people who knew about me on what I do and what I have done basically.
Mm-hmm.
And from there, I got my money from Shopify mostly, and I invested into other businesses as car rentals. And I before car rentals, by the way, I used to buy and sell cars. That was the first business model I
Mm-hmm.
followed. So when I was buying and selling cars, I got to know also car shops.
Car
I got to
flipping.
know people in the
Mm-hmm.
game. I got to know how the game works. So I started reaching out to people. Hey, how can I buy this car and know how
Mm-hmm.
am I
Yeah,
gonna be making profit? So it's basically you don't really look for the networks. You don't really look for the
they
opportunities.
just come.
You basically do what you're supposed to, and one thing would lead to another. But one mistake that people do, they sit on their laptops, make the business, and stay at home. No,
Mm-hmm.
gotta go outside. Your leads, your networking opportunities are outside. One of the biggest things in Dubai that helps is going to the events. As example, now in December we had China Home Life. We had the word LF, I think LF or
Mm-hmm.
IF, something like that. We also had a car motor show for car parts from Turkey manufacturers. We also had what else we had?
China,
China Home Life. Yeah, I just said it. There was
Commerce
one more.
City, the one in the Commerce City.
Yeah, the Commerce City one also, and it's like these events are
Mm-hmm.
networking opportunities.
Yeah.
You might not be going there to buy something or use that supplier or whatever, but going to each stand, talking to each person, that guy is a founder, that guy is a CEO, that guy is whatever.
Mm-hmm.
He might be just a hostess, he's just getting paid to be there, but one thing would lead to another and basically do something for you. As example, in April of 2024, I went to a Forex event.
Mm-hmm.
One guy was working there as a hostess and basically stood with him. I told him what I do. He told me what he does, got his contact. After the event, we met, we went on a coffee, and we basically exchanged more. And he taught me how the game works. He showed me how Forex works. And currently, he has an account with my money in it, and he plays for me with the money.
Yeah.
He's basically, getting the system going for me. So if I didn't go to that event, I wouldn't have knew who he was today.
A
You get my
new
point?
source of income
You get my
also.
point.
Yeah, yeah.
I don't want to talk about how much I'm making, but I'm not making crazy amount because he's taking a 70%,
Mhm.
but I'm still making something.
Yeah, it's an automated business,
It's an
so
automated
yeah.
business. I do have a risk. Each business has its own risk, keep in mind, but I'm still making money. I'm coming out with a profit at each month, you know.
You just
So
invest in,
yeah,
yeah.
so basically it's like each thing you do in life has something written for you. It's either Allah writes it for you or no. That's it.
Mm,
As simple as it is.
exactly.
So he knows your future. He knows when you're gonna die. He knows what's going to happen today with me.
Mhm.
Today, you know.
Yeah,
So he knows everything. So trust in him, but you
and
also
let
do
go.
what you're supposed
Yeah.
to. Do what you're supposed to. Don't stay at home. Home is a safe zone, you know. You just need to go out into the wild and see where the life will take you.
Well, my first client for SMMA, I actually got it not from home when I decided to go out and go to the gym, which has had nothing to do with a
Mm-hmm.
client. But when I was going to a gym, to my gym, okay, I was just saving money to just afford that, monthly subscription.
Yeah.
While I'm on the road, someone stopped me. He gave me like a flyer,
Mm-hmm.
okay, so I can, go and see whatever they're offering. But I didn't care about it. He forced me to enter.
Mm-hmm.
So when I entered, it was a building, a long building. He
Okay.
told me there is a gym on the rooftop. Go to it, go
Uh-huh.
check it. So I went and checked the gym. It's so good. The gym is very small, but has a lot of things. It has a pool, it has a sauna, it has
Oh, that's nice.
a steam bath and
That's
everything.
nice.
So no gym at that place, at that region had it, but they
Mm-hmm.
had no clients. I
Right.
was basically the first one to enter it. So when I was
Was
there,
it new or was it
it
old?
was so new. It's just opened that day,
Okay. Okay.
But I was talking to them and I told them, why don't you have clients or something? They told me they just started. They want me to enter, but I told them I just subscribed to the gym next to you, for double the price. They gave me half the price and everything, but still I didn't go. But I told them I can come actually and create content for you and generate you more leads. They told me, okay, if you're serious, come tomorrow. So I came to them tomorrow and I closed that deal. And from that deal, I got multiple other ones from just the word of mouth. But just basically, while I was just
That's crazy.
working on the
That's
road.
crazy. Just wanting to go to the gym ended up getting you clients.
Exactly.
That's crazy. So the moral of the story is the mindset, the determination of wanting to do it is all you need basically.
Mm.
It's all about, being determined onto doing something. That's what I would say for everyone. If you want to do it, you would do it. Even like take this as an example. Okay, let me think of a good example. Okay, I do buy and sell cars, right? Okay,
Hmm.
I don't know how to fix cars, like mechanical works. Okay,
Yeah.
but if I wanted to do it because I don't have an option for someone else, or I don't have the money to fix it by going
Yeah.
to a
You
garage,
do it yourself. You learn.
I would learn it because I want to, you know?
Hmm.
It's the will that you have that would change the concept of your whole life. So always keep in mind is you want to do it. Everyone wants to get rich now. Everyone wants, the money, the cars, the life, but no one is really determined into putting efforts, going throughout the process. Like 5 years in the game, I have made good amount of money. You know that.
Yeah.
And being in this game, I'm still not at the top one level. There's still people richer than me. I take them as motivation. I don't hate on them. One thing to another, to
Lead to
another, to
another. Yeah.
another. As long as I'm staying on my path and I'm doing it, I'm gonna reach to that type of wealth.
Hmm.
But to the wealth level I'm on now, it's way better. I would say I'm in the top 97% now. The other 97% are the ones that are lazy,
Hmm.
the ones that made a couple of hundreds and didn't proceed with it.
Exactly. Yeah.
Just do what you imagine, what you dream of. Bring your dreams into reality. That's it.
But just doing the right things and just doing something,
Hmm.
it will make you lucky. It will
Right.
somehow make you like, because before even me getting that chance that I told you about, or you getting, successful,
Hmm.
people don't see the failures and the try. Like
Right.
we tried
You know how many
one
times I
million
failed?
times. Yeah.
You know how many times I failed? Like seriously.
Hmm.
Not even though I discovered Shopify, my first store was a
Yeah.
loss, second store was a loss. Not really a loss, but like I just lost $1 at that
Yeah.
time. Nothing really serious, but it's not just about the Shopify concept. Even with the cars, I even bought cars over the market value. I lost money. Some of them I did make money. Until today, like recently, I also lost some money. Yeah, around 3 months ago, I lost around 30,000 dirhams in a business I'm doing. But doesn't mean I'm gonna stop
Stop. Yeah.
life. I'm not gonna, it's a big amount, okay? But if you're not gonna take the risk, if you're not gonna accept your losses, then how do you want to get successful? No one has gotten successful without these, unless dad is rich and they're using his money.
But it's not only their mistake, because now it became a trend to be successful in 1/12, etc. But people that are flexing, the people that are watching them, they don't know that success, it didn't came from nothing. It came of bunch of failures. They probably failed more than the people watching have tried.
Right.
So basically, that success, the people don't see the road. They don't see the struggles, etc.
Right. You're totally on point. Like, it's always just about look at yourself and do your own thing. And whenever you look at someone else that's more successful than you, take him as
A motivation.
as example. If you wanna example that would match everyone's vision that's watching, basically Andrew Tate. Andrew Tate, he's, according to what I know, he's a billionaire now. But it's not something for sure or something. But keep in mind, he's also an entrepreneur. He also made money from people. He also made money from his businesses that he has, like the casinos, the clubs, and all of those stuff. How many times did he fail? I don't know if the story is true, but I have heard and I've seen that he used to eat off people's plate in KFC in London, I think. Leftover food, he used to eat it because at that, like, he was at a very shit point. But look at where he is now. Looking at him as me, as a person that's bigger than me, more wealthy, and living a life way better than mine, I don't hate on it, and I don't basically think of it in like, oh, how the fuck did he do it? Because I know how he did it, but it's a matter of being consistent, it's a matter of putting in the work, and it's a matter of knowing how to do business. What sums it all up is you.
Yeah.
You putting the efforts and doing everything, and that's it. It's a really simple concept, but the reason people don't get successful, the biggest point that's not making people successful, is the algorithm we have with social media, the vapes, the smoking. You might say, oh, vaping won't affect me, watching one reel a day won't affect me, but basically one thing leads to another. One thing actually leads to another, and when you combine all of those, they affect your life.
Yeah. But there are small damages, but together they become.
Yeah. One of the best things someone can do to basically build a better mindset: stay away from social media, invest more time in yourself, either it's reading or writing. Me, I'm a person that hates reading, by the way. And whenever I used to open a book to read, I'm like, what the fuck is that? I don't want to read it. It's not my thing. But after trying, forcing myself a couple of times, I got so much knowledge of books.
Yeah.
The gym isn't really something that would make you successful, okay? But it would build you the mindset. It would build the mindset because
being disciplined.
it's like, forcing yourself to lift heavier weights, forcing yourself to be fit. When you're able to do those type of stuff, it's gonna change you. It's like these natural things are far more better than scrolling on social media. I bet you guys, before watching this video, you don't remember the last 5 reels you watched, because your brain is basically now trained to short-term memory. You can do your research. It's something psychological that
Short time span.
yeah, it's basically people are getting used to short content. That if I ask you now, you remember, Yassine, what content did you watch yesterday at 7 p.m? You wouldn't. You really wouldn't. Like,
sometimes I do, but
but you're not gonna really remember that specific video with specific details because it's a waste of time, and it didn't really do any help for you. It's crazy, but people need to wake up and change the way they live. That's
but
basically.
You talked about social media, but they would say, okay, now you're successful, you probably also watch or whatever. But actually, last time I saw on your phone you had a time limit in your Instagram, which is only 30 minutes a day. And you already use Instagram for talking in your businesses, communicating with people.
Don't use Instagram unless it's business.
Tell them how you became ghost. You went ghost. You deleted all your social media. Yeah.
Okay, so basically, one of the major points that made me successful in life is from the age of 15, I would say, till December 2023. Okay. Social media, I was zero. The only social platform I was using was TikTok.
Mm-hmm.
And I was using it to make advertisements. I went ghost because I don't want to waste my time posting myself, posting content or whatever it was at that time. Second thing, I don't want to watch content. I don't want to waste time because I understood this was the Matrix attack. It
Mm-hmm.
was like not Matrix, but you get my point.
Yeah, yeah,
Such a time consuming thing. So I went ghost until I got good amount of wealth and success. And that's when I joined Instagram again. Started posting a bit, watching reels. I even watch reels. I watch it, but it's not like I'm addicted to it.
yeah. Mm-hmm.
It's not like, oh, I'm sitting at the toilet, watch reels. Oh, I'm sitting on the sofa, watch reels. No, I just watch at a certain point for a certain
Yeah.
reason. So when I went ghost, it did have a huge impact on my life.
So people don't actually realize that there is a thing called phone addiction, you know. So
You want to know if you're phone addicted? Go to your iPhone settings or Samsung or whatever phone you have, turn on screen timer. If you don't have that setting, install an application that would track it. See how much time you're spending on each platform and analyze the reason of what were you doing there. If you were doing it for business, I respect you, I understand you, I'm sorry. But if you were watching content,
yeah.
like YouTube and Instagram, Snapchat, whatever, if you didn't benefit anything for it, it would add up 30 minutes, 1 hour, 2 hours. The average phone time of these people are like 6 or maybe 10 hours a day.
Mhm.
Texting people, watching videos, most unreasonable stuff.
And the most
Biggest huge
lie that
waste
they
of
lie
time.
to themselves is that when they save the videos, they will come back to later, or
It
they
will
send
never
to
come back to it.
yeah, or they send to another account so they can save the videos there,
Never coming
which
back
is
to it.
which is actually the biggest lie. I had this problem when I used to take pictures from the board. You know, I take
Mhm.
the pictures, then I say to myself, I'm gonna write it at home, and I don't even come
Go
back to it.
home, we're a different thing.
Yeah,
We're no longer writing the thing on the board. So
exactly.
it's basically that's it. It's it's all about the mindset. I would say
Hmm.
it's all about you wanting to do it. Success would come your way.
Yeah,
If
and
you don't do
mm,
it, it's not gonna happen.
also there's a bunch of free stuff on YouTube, the
Mhm.
bunch of free stuff on everywhere, especially now TikTok and Instagram. The my for you page, I don't know about yours, but my for you page is all about information and value. So there is
Yeah,
actually value everywhere. But the thing is, they're so random. So you have to maybe follow someone that you trust, a
yeah.
mentor, so you can copy his methods. Let's say if I was in Dubai and I want to be successful on e-commerce like you do, I would ask you to give me the right method that you do. I would follow your content. I would, listen to you, etc., etc. So I would do the same results in the same country you have, because selling in Dubai is not the same as selling in Saudi or another country or US or Europe, etc. So how can you explain that more?
Well, that's a good question. And going deeper into that, it's basically how you program yourself on the concept of, first thing with the algorithm and stuff, you need to know what you're doing, what you're watching, and who you're following,
Hmm.
because it would matter a lot. Because a lot of gurus are in the game, a
Yeah.
lot of people getting rich from the courses they're selling.
Hmm.
So you need to make sure you're basically following the right person. When you're following the right person, the rest is easy. You would understand the game and you would know what you're doing exactly. And from there, the methods you implement into your business, the methods you would follow from that certain person, as example me, you would see the true change into it. You get my point?
Hmm. And okay, let's say someone has started, have made some money, from his business, etc. Now, the first thing that he would do, either invested in his business, reinvested it, or go buy some things, buy some
Right.
clothes. So, what do you think of that? When did you start actually buying stuff? Buying luxury items,
Well,
etc.
I started the first ever purchase, I was 18 and a half at the time. So, not long ago, like a year and a half ago, that was my first ever purchase. And I did purchase a couple of expensive clothes. And now I no longer really do it because it's a loss of money basically.
Hmm.
You're not gonna be able to resell it for a profit or something, so you're basically just losing your money. So I try to invest my money into more valuable things. As example, watches, as you know, as example, cars, as example, these assets type
Hmm.
of things. If they're liquid, I'm not gonna buy it anymore. Maybe sometimes if I really like it because I can afford it, I would buy it. But making your money and think you're successful and you would instantly go and start buying these type of things. Sorry, but how are you gonna get rich?
Alex Hormozy, for example.
Yeah,
Uh,
Alex Hermosi, it's the best example you can look over there. From what I know, he's doing way better than me.
yeah.
He's doing way better than me. Look at his clothes.
Mhm.
Look at what he wears. I mean, for me, he has the perfect entrepreneur mindset.
Yeah.
He wears the same clothes, normal lifestyle,
Same hair, same beard,
shitload
same.
of money.
Mhm.
Keep that in mind. But he is reinvesting it. But personally, he's taking care of his health, but he's not flexing with clothes. He's not flexing, living the crazy life. He's just
Yeah.
doing his own thing.
Hmm.
I respect that type of lifestyle. Personally, I do follow that type of lifestyle, but I also love to treat myself sometimes because I know I can afford it.
Yeah.
I know I can do it. But keep in mind, I do calculate before spending, I do ABC. So I make sure what I'm doing is right.
So what's the calculations you do?
Make like example, what am I gonna buy? Okay,
Hmm.
let's say it's
Let's.
clothes.
Yeah. Yeah.
Clothes.
You need to afford triple that or something. Well.
If I'm gonna buy clothes, basically I need to afford 4 or 5 times the amount of that
Hmm.
that I'm able to buy that.
Yeah.
That's if I really want it, I would spend on it.
This is luxury items,
Luxury, no,
designer
no, luxury
clothes. Yeah,
items. If
designer
I'm
clothes.
buying normal clothes that are worth
You
like
wouldn't think.
500
Yeah.
or 300 a piece or 1,000 a piece, I would spend it normally.
Mhm.
But if you're gonna talk about the ones that are like 1K and above and those type of things, no value in them really unless
Mhm.
they're actually worth it. That's where I'm gonna be paying for it, but I'm gonna be making sure I can afford it and it's not gonna affect me in a bad way. That's the basic concept of it. So keep in mind, if you wanna buy something, when you're rich or wealthy, that's the only time you're gonna buy. And when you're gonna buy it, be sure that you can afford something worth 3 or 4 times the price of that.
Mhm.
So when you buy it, it won't really affect your bank, like the numbers, the
Yeah,
commas in
the
your
digits.
account. If those are not getting affected, that means it's a small purchase. It's not crazy. It's worth it. Okay. But example, if you're worth 1 million, would you go buy something for 100K that's liquid, that's not an asset? No. Because even though you have 1 million, but you only have 10 100s.
Yeah.
They go
So you
like this.
wasted one. Yeah.
They go like this. Wallah. They would fly off your hand.
Mhm.
So you gotta be making sure of what you're spending on exactly.